The story of Rumpelstiltskin starts off in this far, far away land. There is a father who has a daughter, and her name is Paulina. The father's name is Juan. In this land, there is a kingdom, very big kingdom. The king is King Nathaniel. King Nathaniel is known to be very greedy, very mula mula. So one day, Juan is going down to the market, and he sees King Nathaniel. King Nathaniel looks like he's looking for something. Juan is like, do you need help looking for that? And then he's like, I don't need help from a peasant. Very rude. Yeah, very rude. And so he was like, well, first of all, I'm not a peasant. I am very rich in happiness. And King Nathaniel took that as, ooh, they have a lot of money. So King Nathaniel was like, well, maybe if I am actually nice to this man, he'll give me money. So he eventually tells him, he's like, yeah, my daughter, she likes to sew gold, and she's really good at it. She's really good at her hands. Like, if you want, I can introduce you to. And so King Nathaniel's like, oh yeah, of course. And then, so they take him to the mill, which is where they work at. And so then they introduce them, and then King Nathaniel's like, well, where's all the gold? Y'all said y'all make gold. And the father is stuttering because he lied, and he was like, well, she likes to make it at night. But then the daughter was like, well, I mean, Dad, I don't really know how to sew. But before she could say anything else, the dad was like, no, shut up! The adults are talking! Yeah, very mean. Yeah, it's not very nice. So then he tells King Nathaniel, he was like, I can give you my daughter if you give me some sort of riches, and she'll sew you gold for the rest of her life. And she didn't have any say in it. So then King Nathaniel gave her father a bunch of money, and then he took the daughter, Paulina, she took over the horse and took her to the kingdom. It's a little mean. Yeah, it's kind of rude. So then he told her, you have until tomorrow morning to make me a large sum of gold by sewing it. And so then King Nathaniel just left her in a chamber, and she was crying because she was like, I don't know how to sew gold. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do. Can I curse in this video? I'm gonna curse in this video. Don't. I'll bleep that out. So then this magical little munchkin comes out, and he's like, oh, do you need help sewing gold? I can help you. And before she could even think, she was like, well, what do you want? What do you want from me? So you can sew gold for me, so I don't have to go see King Nathaniel with nothing because I don't know what he could do. So then the munchkin was like, of course, but I want a ring. I want your ring. So she gives him his ring. She gives him her ring, and then she gives him her ring, and then he starts sewing it, but he sings a little chant. The chant goes, I have this ring, my life is full of tricks, I like to trick, but what I love most is making people sad. Yeah, it's not really, it's kind of depressing. Anyways, he finished sewing all of the things, and then he gives her the thing he made, and then he's like, well, I gotta go, bye-bye, and she didn't get to ask him his name or anything, which she didn't really care about, just as long as she has the gold. So the King Nathaniel comes down, and he's like, where's my gold? And then she shows him the gold, and then he's like, ooh, gold, like, it's so pretty. And then he was like, okay, you have till tonight to do this now, and this time, if you do it, I'll ask you your hand in marriage. And so then the munchkin comes back. Before she could even cry, he comes back, and he was like, ooh, do you need help again? I can help you. And then the Paulina was like, of course, yes, but this time, what do you want? All I have is this necklace, but I really, what else do you need? I can be more generous if you need it. And then he was like, well, now that I come to think of it, your first baby, I want it. I want your baby. And Paulina, not thinking much of it, she was like, well, I'm not gonna, after I leave this chamber, I'm gonna try to leave, and I'm not even gonna worry about it. So she was like, yeah, sure, you can have my first baby, it's whatever. She was like, as long as I can get out, yeah, you're good. And so then he's like, okay. So he sings his little chant again. And then he tells her, okay, here's your gold. I'm leaving now, bye-bye. And then so he leaves, and then she has her gold. And then King Nathaniel, he promised, not happy about it though. He's like, okay, well, let's get married. And then years pass. and she falls in love with King Nathaniel, even though he's kind of mean. They fall in love, and as a matter of fact, they do have a baby. So then the little brat, the little munchkin, comes back in, and he's like, yo, that baby looks a little delicious. You know, Paulina, like, can you hand me that? Like, ooh, like, you know what I mean? Like, because, you know, remember he made that deal. So then Paulina was like, oh my God, no, you cannot have my baby. Because she was like, I didn't think I was going to have this baby. You cannot have my baby. So then the munchkin, like, she was like, okay, all right. Okay, maybe me having the baby is a little too much. So I'll give you 3 days. 3 days, but this time you have to figure out my name. You have to figure out my name, and by the 3rd day I'll come at night, and if you don't know my name, then I'll take your baby. You know, he's being nice. I'll give him that. He's being a little nice. He's being a little generous. So then she's freaking out, and she doesn't know his name. She's like, oh, Frederick, Thomas, those are too basic. Those are too white. Not a goblin would name that, you know what I mean? So she sends out 3 messengers out into the village. She's like, find the man, find the goblin, find the name. I need a name. So then the 2 days pass, nothing's come up. So then finally on the 3rd day, a messenger comes back, and he's like, okay, so I found a group of goblins, a group of hooligans. They're outside the village, and they're chanting. It's like, have you ever seen Frozen? You know those little goblins? They're like, hum-manana, hum-manana, you know what I mean? They're doing the hum-manana, hum-manana. Well, the goblin's chanting, and he's doing that little chant that he did to Paulina. And so then he's like, oh, my name's Rumpelstiltskin. Nobody's going to know my name. I'm going to steal the baby, and da-da-da-da. So he's basically, like, talking up his butt. He's like, oh, I'm going to take the baby. So then the messenger, he tells her, he's like, oh, his name's Rumpelstiltskin. Like, we know his name. And Paulina's finally relieved. She's like, oh, thank God. Like, she's not going to give up his baby. So in doing this, she's like, wait a second. I can do more to this man than he thinks. So he puts the court all together. And then she's like, okay, when he comes, I'm just going to make a fool out of himself because he thinks he can trick me. But as a matter of fact, I'm going to be tricking him. So then he comes in, he's like all happy because she's like, oh, she's not going to know my name. So then she messes with him. She's like, is your name Frederick? He's like, no, Paulina, you're wrong. And then he's like, is your name Thomas? No, Paulina, one more try. If not, I'm going to have your freaking baby. And then he's like, is it Rumpelstiltskin? And he's all red. He's like, oh, how did you know? And then everybody's laughing. Everybody's making a fool out of himself. Like, they're like, oh my God, Rumpelstiltskin. So then he goes out running, and then he's like, oh, Jesus, I thought I could trick her. So then they keep the baby, and then they have a happy